So when they asked me if I wanted to be Batgirl, I did not want to wear Yvonne's suit and pretend like I was Yvonne. And of course DC said, oh no, that's going to happen. And I was introduced in the Bronze Age era, which was from 1970 to 1985, is the Bronze Age era in the comics. And 1975, Batgirl introduced that family in the comics. And then 1977, in February of 1977, it was the animated series where Batmite was introduced. It was Batgirl and Batman and Robin. So that's why when I met him in September of 77, it all worked during that time frame, in which, you know, sometimes you're at the right place at the right time. That's exactly what happened to me. My whole life changed. If I never met Burt Ward that day, I would have never been here doing this and being with you all. And it's just been an amazing journey that I've gone through. And so after 7 years, what I decided to do is go back home to North Carolina from LA. I needed to take a little break and traveled 2 years with them after that. And then I decided to hang up my cape in my Bat cave for 35 years.
So
35 years.
Doing the live shows is different than doing like a recorded show, because you really have to train and everything has to be done like perfect. So how was that? Like what experience was that?
Well, people didn't know Adam West at the time like they do now. And now you all know his spirit. He's funny. He's a funny guy. He loved to enjoy life. Well, the funny thing, traveling with Adam, he didn't want it to be like that. He didn't want it to be just perfect. He wanted to come out, and it was impromptu. He started his, and then Robin and I, we just followed Batman. And whatever he was doing, we sort of went along with him. But Robin would say his holy words, and he would do his pals and his socks with his hands and stuff, and then Adam would fly across the stage. I mean, if you can vision this, just vision this for a minute. He would fly across the stage, sort of like he does when he does his Bat Tootsie. He would do, you know, something like that, and it was really cool. But it was never the same. It was always different.
Well, I guess that's what makes the show a little more different than
Right.
the actual TV show, because you're on the road. Some things are not going to line up the same as it did the last show,
Exactly.
and that's what makes it even more fun too.
Exactly. And I think that was his thought too, that if somebody did come to meet us at one place and they'd see us in another place, he didn't want it to be the same. But now if it was Bert, it would be a different story. Bert was very, very in his box. He was like our manager, so to speak. We had a manager, but he was the one that knew exactly where we were going, who we were seeing, what we were doing. Everything was perfect for him. He needed it like that. You know, that's how I learned my business sense, because he taught me how to do all the business side of it. And Adam was the free spirit of us. So Bert, if we left it to him to decide what the shows were going to be like, it would be, Karen, you're on that X, and Adam, you're on that X, and I'm going to be on that X, and everything would have been just perfect. But Adam didn't want it like that. So he let Bert take care of everything for us, basically, except for the performances when we were traveling, so it would be fun and light and not so rigid.
Right. I mean, I do photography, so I try every session to make it like different than the last one, because cookie cutter, gets monotonous.
Yeah.
You know. So, and I guess fans will like go to like every show, and they want to be like, oh, I already seen that, you know. So I guess making it fun and like prompt them and different will attract more people.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I guess you guys become a family, you know, be on the road.
Oh, we were a family.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at Adam almost like a father figure, because he was, you know, like I said, he was 49 and I was just 20, and he really was a huge mentor for me. And he taught me a lot about life. I mean, because, you know, I never saw him angry, and we went through some really times, because that was in the, you know, early 70s, all the way to like 87 when I traveled with him. And it was, just the way he was just always easygoing, and he would make us laugh. He would make people, if they seemed upset, he would always, you know, say some kind of funny joke that would really make them wonder what he's talking about. You know, he would say these one-liners. It's really funny. But he always was in a great spirit. I mean, he was always a fun person. I'll never forget that.
That's good.
Mhm.
Now, talking about, you do have a book, correct?
I have a book. So I have a book. It's Bat Driven West. I named it Bat Driven because I was bat driven, and West because I went west from North Carolina to California, and then Adam West. So I honored him to name it that. And it's in Lisa Ward, Bert's daughter. It's in her honor. I wrote it to dedicate her. And it's really cool. So it really starts with how I met Bert and the background of Batman and Robin and the show, and then how I met him. Then moving forward, I put some really cute, funny stories in here that happened to us and people that I met through them, and just some great stories. I am in my second edition to the book because I found we were in the Star magazine, we were in National Enquirer, and those articles are in here. And also, we didn't have cameras back then. If we had cameras like we do now, I'd have thousands of pictures, but I think we had Polaroids back then. Do you know what a Polaroid camera is? Okay. I think that's what we had. So some of those are not even probably good anymore, but now people are finding me since I was gone for so long. And the reason why I left is because I wanted to have children, and I wanted to raise children in North Carolina, not in Los Angeles, California. So that's why I decided to move back. And now they're all grown, and I've decided to come back out, and I'm glad I'm still young enough mentally and physically to still be able to come out and meet the fans and enjoy that journey again. But in the book, I did tell that, but as I was saying, now people are finding me. They're like, they've come up to me and they've messaged me on Instagram and Facebook, and they've come up to me and shows like, oh my gosh, you're that Batgirl that I have pictures with when I was a kid. So they're sending me their pictures, and I'm signing it. I'm keeping a copy, so I'm putting those pictures in my second edition. And of course, other stories that I did hold out to write about later, because I just really wanted a foundation, like a platform to get out. And I am with DC Comics again. I do have a contract with them. So when I decided to come back out, I did call DC Comics and spoke to Jim Lee's office, and they welcomed me back home. And that was really a cool situation to be welcomed back after so long.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Well, thank you.
We really are. I mean, you're an icon.
Well,
and work with Adam West. I mean, who has the chance to say, hey, I work with Adam West, like on a personal, not on the show,
On a personal.
but we were like on the road.
His wife and everybody.
Yeah.
They're very personal, and I'm still close with his family as well as Bert's. His granddaughters come to see me 4 times in North Carolina the last couple of years, and I'm very, very close with the Ward family, as well as Adam's, closer to Bert's grandchildren and his daughter, his first daughter. I met her when she was 11 years old, and I was 20, so I'm really close with her, and that's why I dedicated it to her. And it's just been fun to come back around, and through the years I stayed in contact with them, but not a lot. I wasn't on social media until 2015 because I was sort of afraid they'd find me, because I wanted to, like I said, not raise my children on the road. I wanted to be a mom, and a normal mom that wasn't, with the bat signal above me everywhere I went. But the first time I decided to come back out, I never went to a Comic-Con. The only Comic-Cons I've been to is the ones I've been in. The first one I went to was Fayetteville, North Carolina on June 2021. And since I've been back, this is my 56th Comic-Con since June 2021. And I've done 3 comic stores and a bookstore so far. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you also did San Diego Comic-Con, did you?
Yeah, I've done San Diego Comic-Con the last 3 years. And so a few large ones. I've not done DragonCon yet, so I'm hoping maybe next year. I've done MegaCon and Pensacon and a few other large ones as well. But the funny story is too, so I decided to come back home to raise my children, and my firstborn was born on September 19th, 1990, on Adam West's birthday. She was born 9 days early. I mean, that in itself is
that's
serendipity with the stars. It was a sign.
Absolutely.
And so she feels like she's definitely a fat royalty being born on Adam West Day, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
So while on the road, any funny experience with the guys, or like you guys like play pranks on each other, or?
Well, Adam and Adam played pranks on Bert a lot, and he would really try to make Bert laugh. And when he'd get to Bert in certain ways, Bert would laugh so hard he would cry. And he has this infectious laugh too. Bert does. Have you ever heard him laugh? But yeah, it was really a lot of fun just to be out there with them and to see how the waitresses and. You know, when you go to a restaurant, we'd go to these smaller towns and stuff, and the restaurants would, the waitresses would come up, and, people would hear that we'd be there, but you don't place people unless you know that's them. But it's their voices, their voices told it all, too, because their voices were so different, and so, of course, Adam would tease with the waitresses, and he was a big, big flirt. He just loved it. But he was really, to me, he was innocent. I've heard all these stories after I left or before I was there about, girls coming into their rooms and stuff like that. Well, I don't know about that. I never saw it. It could have happened before or after me, but not with me. Adam's wife was really glad I was with him, so, just in case. But yeah, he was pretty. I never saw them do anything that they shouldn't, honestly.
Well, also with you being the girl,
yeah.
They were very protective.
Very
of
protective.
You,
Very, very protective, yeah.
All right, so do we have any questions for her? I know y'all do. Come on.
Well, earlier you had mentioned you left because you wanted to have children.
Right.
How many children did you say you
had? I have two. I have a daughter, she's 33 now, and a son, 30. And a granddaughter is 4 and a half, and I watch her through the week, Monday through Friday, unless I'm traveling. And that's my daughter, so my son has a 9-month-old daughter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you transition them into or their awareness, rather, of you being such a star, or such a celebrity as they were growing up? When did they realize that, and how did that happen?
That's a great question. Did you all hear the question? He said, how did my children hear or let them know that I played Batgirl on Batman and Robin? That's a really good question. So my daughter was 12 and my son was 9 when I first told them. Never told them before that. They saw the suit. My daughter saw the suit. She thought it was some kind of strange Halloween suit her mother wore back in the day. and I just let her believe it. My cow was up on the closet. She's like, it's kind of strange. Mom's got this Batgirl suit, but okay. She saw it. She's like, Mom, what's that? I said, oh, it's just, it's one of my skeletons in the closet, so to speak. And so when I did tell her, I was going to have surgery, and okay, I'll go and tell everybody. It's in my book anyway, if you want to read my book. But I had, when I was 20 years old and I started wearing the Batgirl costume, I didn't feel, I was very small. I was like 98 pounds, so I was small. My breasts were smaller, so I didn't feel like a girl, felt like a young boy. So I did get breast implants. That was in the beginning of them. And so I had them quite a long time, and I didn't want them anymore. And I never really liked them, but the suit, I looked great in the suit with them. So I'm just now being totally honest with you guys. And so I went to have surgery to have them taken out. And I told my daughter I'm going to the hospital to have surgery. And my mother was coming in to watch them. And she's like, well, why are you having surgery? And I was like, oh, how do I tell my 12-year-old daughter that her mom has this? So I told her, I said, well, I have breast implants. And she looked at me, she said, why do you, my mom, have those? What, because I was like, the mom, they never even expected. And I said, well, there's another story. And she looks at me, and it was at nighttime, she was getting ready to go to bed, and she looks at me and I said, well, the Batgirl costume suit that you've seen hanging in the closet for years? Well, yeah. I said, well, I wore that many, many years ago because I was the Bronze Age Batgirl, which I guess I'm still the Bronze Age Batgirl. And she looked at me like I had 3 eyes, and she said, what? And I said, well, I traveled with Adam West and Burt Ward, and she said, I've heard the names and I never even, she said, but you were Batgirl? I said, yeah. She said, really? I said, yeah. So she jumps up, runs into her brother's room. Clay, Mom's Batgirl. So of course I had to tell the whole thing. So she really wanted me to come out then. She said that she thought that I should write a book and everything, and that's when I told her. I said, Ann, you were born on Adam West's birthday. And of course, they knew him from Mayor West more than they did anything. So she, on Family Guy. So he, when I told them that and the story, and they're like, oh my gosh, I told her she was born on his birthday. And of course, she was born 9 days late. It just happened to be what happened. 9 days early. She was supposed to have been born September 28th. She was born September 19th. And I told her that. She said, see, Mom, you need to write the story. And I didn't. I still hung it up on the shelf and didn't. And then when Yvonne Craig passed away in 2015, I had heard, and it sparked a sadness in my heart, a really bad sadness in my heart. And so that's when I got on Facebook, and I just got on Instagram like 2 or 3 years ago, but I got on Facebook to research things and just to see what's out in the world at that point. And my sisters had told me, if you want to see pictures of yourself and the family, you better get on Facebook. So I finally did, and then that's when I reached back out to the Bat family and wanted to go out and visit everybody, and I did in 2016. I did 4 times that year, and then January of 2017, which everything's really impeccable timing. In January of 2017 was the 50th anniversary of Batgirl. So after I talked to DC, they said, okay, let's write your journey. And so I started it in January of 2017, the 50th anniversary. And of course, we, lost Adam that year, just 6 months later in June of 2017. And that really hurt. And I put the book down for a bit. And it took me 2.5 years to write it. But I finished it. I'm not one of those that I just couldn't put it down and not finish it. So I finished it, and I'm so excited that I did. And then, so the Comic-Con tour is supposed to start in 2020. Because I published it on November 9th of 2019, and then 2020 was the Comic-Con tour, and of course, then it was 2020 that a bat supposed to have bitten somebody in the very beginning. We heard a bat, and then Batgirl comes out. I'm like, what is that?
What coincidence, right?
Coincidence. And like, well, we'll just shelve that for another year. So, that's what I heard. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, it just wasn't time, obviously. So I waited, and then June 2021 was my first one. And funny, like I said, I never went to a Comic-Con, and Adam and Bert told me, you just wait, because we went to car shows, opening of malls, opening of stores, opening of like fundraisers, anywhere that they'd want to have us. And they said, you're gonna love it, because everybody's dressed up, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be amazing, and it really was. And so then I was Dawn, the OG cosplayer. So I'm the trailblazer of cosplayers, right? So the 3 of us were out dressed up like characters before anybody else was, so they called me the OG cosplayer, since I was like the trailblazer of that, cosplaying, which is really cool. We did that before there was even a cosplay word in the dictionary, so I'm like, okay, I'll own it. I like it.
Right, because you guys were like touring the whole United States.
Yeah.
Cosplay, per
Cosplay,
se, yeah.
yeah, in our suits, yeah.
So how does it feel when you have cosplayers come to your table dressed as Adam West Batman?
Oh, it has to
I'll show you my nephew.
I know.
My nephew's like the best.
Oh, I love it. When an Adam West Batman comes to me, it's just so cool. It's just so surreal, actually, and I just love it. I have to get lots of pictures with him. And a Robin, it's not many Robins that wear that suit. Is the other, what's the other Robin? It's Nightwing, of course. Yeah. And then there's I don't know, I just went blank.
Dick Grayson?
Dick Grayson is Robin, the one I was with. But it's Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Red Hood, that's it, Red Hood. I don't know why, I'm just kind of going blank here, but yeah, so when it's the Robin that I travel with, Dick Grayson Robin comes up, it's really cool, but you don't see that suit too often. And even the Adam West Batman suit I don't see too often, so when I do see it, it's really, really cool. And of course, all the Batgirls, when there's all Batgirls that come up, I think it's just really neat. And whatever version they wear, I'm excited about it. I've not seen anybody wear my suit yet that's come up to me, but it'll happen. But I've seen a lot of other versions of her, but I haven't seen, I've seen it on Craig's suit. That's pretty neat.
Just give it time.
Give it
You know,
time.
give it time.
Depends on
because
that.
Once you show yourself
Mhm.
that you have, then people, cosplayers are you out there now. They're gonna seek you.
Yeah.
They're gonna make it themselves. They're gonna probably buy it or whatever.
Well-
They're gonna come to your table specifically just to see you.
Yeah, exactly, and which is odd because I was in the comics, I came through the comics in that suit, back in the 70s and 80s, but, and I even asked, Jim Lee's office, he signed my contract, which is really cool too, Jim Lee did, but I said, I've not seen that that suit all of these, through the years or seen anyone wear it, and they said, because you own it, you own the rights to that, which is really neat. But it's gonna be fun to see it in cosplay as well, and I do.
Any other questions, you guys?
How do you feel that they portray your character now and the Bat family versus then? Do you feel like they give them enough time, or just it's all focused on Batman now?
I'm sorry, but
Hold on a second.
Sorry, I talk kind of low.
You come up here. We'll do it the right way.
Yeah.
How do you feel that they portray the Bat family? Do they give them just enough time now, or is it just more focused around Batman? And do you feel like they give your character any credit in the new ones now?
no, I don't think they give. I think they try to. She was Oracle, which I love. That when I came back out, I had to educate myself where she went after I left her. And then to see that she was Oracle, I absolutely love what happened. So we have a love-hate relationship with the Joker. Because, if it wasn't for the Joker, she wouldn't have been Oracle. And Oracle, it showed that she was the biggest team player in the universe. And she was the most brilliant. Because she was, she's the computer hacker, and she helps all the superheroes to help, find, the villains. So I like what they did with her with that. Now she's got her legs back, so she's out kicking butt again, which I do like that. But I don't think that they've really ever given Batgirl where they could, but I think that's coming back around, which they were getting ready to with the Batgirl movie. Did you know that we were going to have a Batgirl movie finally after 50? We were. So it was supposed to it was filmed completely 100% in December 2022. We should have seen it this past December, but they decided not to do it because some of the critics that saw it didn't feel like it was what we've been waiting for all these years, in which I was devastated. I was like, the ambassador out there telling people about it, and when they made that decision, it, really, I had to research what was the real reason, and I feel like if the critics felt like it wasn't what we've been waiting for so long, I'd rather wait, than show something and have backlash and it not be what, she deserved. So now when they do come out with one, then I hope it really is good because it's going to be even worse backlash because we've been waiting again. But Michael Keaton was going to be introduced as the Batman again before The Flash, and then Brendan Fraser was Firefly. So it was going to be really cool. And I'm not going to get my hopes up, but since they're not showing it, and if they do come back out with it, which I really feel they will, then maybe I'll have a cameo or something. We'll see.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
That'd be very cool.
Yes.
And Leslie Grace was named the new Batgirl, the modern age Batgirl, which that's the next step beyond in the comics. As the Bronze Age, the modern age is Leslie Grace. I don't know if you know who she is, but I think she's going to do a great job with it. But yeah, to answer that question, I think it's going to come back around. I do, with her.
All right. Any other questions, you guys?
Yes, ma'am.
I can predict. I'm pretty good
Okay.
at my ways. You said that you were traveling like in the 70s, right? Okay, so as a woman traveling in the 70s, like, we didn't really have rights back then. So how was it traveling as a woman to move back?
Well, that's a great question. I didn't see anything bad. I don't think they really wanted to hear the voice of me as much as like we do now. It was basically Adam and Bert that would speak more, and I did speak some, but it was more them speaking then through the years, how we've able to come beyond that. And so, but people being disrespectful to me, I never saw that at all. But of course, I had Batman and Robin with me, so they weren't going to be that way in front of
Put your
them.
backup.
They were my backup. But I didn't feel anything traveling with them that I wasn't as important. I felt important because I was the, part of them, the trio, and the dynamic trio, right? And, but that's a great question because I've seen as a person, as a woman, I've seen a lot in my lifetime, through that, which I'm really glad that you and women have the voice now, that you can reach out and you can tell, your stories and where you came from to help, little girls beyond me. And that's one reason why I wanted to come back out too, because I want little girls to look at me and feel prouder and more courageous and braver when they meet me like I first saw Yvonne. And I think that's really, really important. And she blazed a trail, and I'm out there trying to blaze it too, along with Linda Carter did, now Gal Gadot, Superwoman. And I think it is time for us to rise. And we've been doing it for quite a long time, and we need to keep doing it. And if people try to not let that happen, then keep pushing forward, because we are here. We do have a voice, so.
Yes, we do, especially with the cosplay community.
Especially with the cosplay community. And I say always, if our world was like the cosplay world, we'd be in a happy, happy place. We really would be.
Any other questions?
Did that answer the question? Sometimes I go on a tangent a little bit.
Come on, I know you guys got questions.
So, did you do stunts when you were doing this? And if so, was anyone ever injured?
I did do stunts. We did have to kick and act like we were flying, and I wish we could have talked to Frank Gorshin. He was the Riddler, and the Joker was Cesar Romero, only 10 years before us, before anybody else was introduced. I wish some of them would have come out with us. It would have been more fun. We were like kicking the air, or if we could have had some cosplayers. Cosplayers were around then. It would have been cool to have somebody up there to play with. But we kicked the air like the sock, the pow, but I did pull a hamstring one time, so I had to lay off that for a little bit, and so the next time when it did heal, I didn't do that kick again. And even Adam and Bert, they did too. They flew across the stage and did their high kicks and stuff. It was a lot of fun. And I wish we had videos. I just wish there was a video out there somewhere that somebody will give me eventually that they took of us. It would be fun to have that.
Yeah, that's a good thing about today's day. Everything is recorded. Everything is like taken pictures of. You know. With you, all you have is the memories.
Yes,
so,
that's right.
like for us, I wish we could see that. We could see you in action.
And I tell everybody says, what would you have done different? What would you tell somebody at this time that you would have done? I wish I journaled. Now you have your phone, you can take notes on and stuff like that. But I really wish I had journaled. Then my memory would have been a lot more keen of a lot more stories that I remember. Because I honestly never thought I'd come back out, never ever. So I didn't put those in my mental track up there to remember. So I had to reach really, really down in my heart to remember certain stories and stuff. And now that I'm out and I'm remembering more and more things, because now I'm involved with it instead of being on the outside where I had put myself for so long. But that's what I would do, is just to remember, because one day you're going to be this age and you're going to think, wow, I wish I could remember this. I wish I could remember that. So that's what I would do.
The break was a good thing, because you had time to take care of yourself, do what you needed to do. Right. But we're glad you're back. And stronger than ever.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Me too, because like I said, I never thought I would, and I'm really, really happy I'm back. I couldn't be more excited than I am, and I want to stay out, and I want to do this as long as I possibly can. And I even thought of this: if I come to a point that I can't walk anymore, guess what? Oracle. Oracle's coming back out.
All right, well, thank you so much, you guys, for
Thank you for
joining
coming.
us. Yeah, please, yes, please.
Thank you. Hey, follow me on Instagram, Live Like Batgirl on Instagram. And then Facebook is Karen Whitfield Batgirl. And if you do want to come by my booth, I have some cool posters and pictures and my book and some pops. So if you want to come by and just visit me, and if you do have questions that you didn't want to ask here, I'm more than welcome, as you see, to answer anything I can. But thank you again for taking your time and coming in here. It really made me feel good.
No, we thank you for coming out. Yes.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much, okay? You have a good day.